the patriarchy. It is your body, your choice. Ending abortion will never end abortion. It will only end safe legal access to it. And I think if you ask any of the Republicans who are so loudly shouting pro-life, if they've ever forced a mistress to have an abortion, and I think it will be shockingly alarming how many they do. We are here to advocate for all uterus havers. There are many, many accesses for you to make sure that you are still capable to receive safe and legal abortion.
Tonight, history is unfolding across the United States.
The highest court in the land reversed course on 50 years of federal constitutional rights to an abortion, sending the issue to the states.
Hundreds, if not 1,000 protesters filled 2nd Avenue in downtown Seattle.
I actually was raised Catholic. I went to a Catholic school. My whole family is Christian now, but also my Christian family is pro-choice. I don't think you can bash the entire religion based off of it. There are a lot of pro-choice Christians out there that understand that while they may not personally feel a certain way, they can't tell other people how they can and can't feel.
Did you know that from the year 2000 to the year 2020, right, approximately 22 million abortions took place in the United States alone. In the United States alone, 22 million abortions from the year 2000 all the way to the year 2020. That's a span of 20 years, 2 decades. In 2 decades, Americans aborted 22 million children. I want you to think about that. So half of Gen Z is missing for the simple fact that Americans decided that it was absolutely okay to just murder their children. That's millions. Millions and millions and millions of Gen Z. Could have been your brother, your sister, daughters, because, sons or daughters, because, some women, they get abortions without telling the man that they slept with, right? That could have been your neighbor, could have been your best friend at school, could have been somebody that could start a business and hire a lot of people. That could have been a potential genius in our society that could have innovated something, right? A potential genius. Who knows? But it's a lot of people. Half of Gen Z is missing because many people and many women thought that it was an inconvenience to have a child just because they slept with some guy at a bar or a nightclub, and that just says, oops, that shouldn't have happened. Let's get rid of the kid. Guys, my name is Anderson, here following Jesus Christ. Welcome to my channel. So obviously the question is abortion a sin? We all know the answer to that, but I wanted to talk about this because a while back, I think like a month ago or weeks ago, I found out that, a couple of months ago or weeks ago, I found out that, America had 22 million abortions. That is crazy. That is just unspeakable. That is just, that is half of a generation missing. Think about that. Also think about Gen Alpha. So, I don't know. And of course, not everybody agrees with the topic of abortion, but in many countries, people protest and force their government to pass laws for the right to murder a child.
They came determined to make themselves heard. Their message clear that tightening abortion laws in Poland will be a disaster for women's rights. Poland already has some of the strictest laws in Europe. Under the latest proposal, abortions would be banned altogether. Only mothers whose lives were at risk would be exempt, and there are plans to increase jail terms for people who perform abortions.
Every woman should have choice, yes, to have a baby or not to have a baby.
Only education and contraception can change something.
Since the election last year, which put into power the Law and Justice Party, society has become more politicised, and issues put forward by different groups have had a polarising effect.
Abortion being one of them. Changing the law could put Poland out of step with much of the EU.
Because it was an inconvenience. This is a sign of people who are very, very, very far from God. right? This is a sign for people who have no fear of God, have no idea that there is a God, or maybe they do know that there's a God, but they're like, God exists, but He doesn't care about us. We're just here because we're just here by chance, right? Kind of like what science teaches us, that it just happened by chance, right? So you see it in Europe, you see it in America, I think Canada too. But usually the more godless, right? The more godless a country is, the more likely they are to have, high numbers of abortions. Okay? America is the country that has the most abortions so far. So far. I think next to America is like China, right? Because of the one-child policy. If you have more than one child, then you gotta, which is absolutely diabolical. But look, Satan loves killing children. Satan loves killing children because he knows that it hurts God. He knows that it hurts God every time a child is aborted. It's like you're hurting God. You're hurting the heart of God. That's his child. That's his baby. God allowed for this person to have a chance at life. He allowed for this person to live. He allowed for this person to exist. And before they even get a chance, us humans, we're like, oh, gotta get rid of that. Oh, I slept with some, girls are like, I slept with some guy at a nightclub, right? Oops, I got pregnant. Gotta get rid of that, right? So, children are innocent, okay? And Satan loves to kill the innocent, right? Because he knows that if you kill a child, he'll go straight to heaven. Children do not know right from wrong. That's what Satan does. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. So let's look at what the Bible says about abortion, because this has, people in our modern day society, that they think that they are doing something new. Oh, we're getting rights. We're getting women's rights, right? Oh, we need the right to do this, the right to do that. You know that this has been happening for the longest time. It's just that now we're calling it an abortion. All right, so 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 1 to 10. Verse 1 to 3. It says, in the 7th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, began to rule as king of Judah, right? Ahaz was 20 years old when he became king, and he ruled for 16 years in Jerusalem, right? He did not do what was right in the eyes of the Lord, his God, in the eyes of Yahuwah, right? In the eyes of, this is before Jesus Christ. So in the eyes of God, aka Yahweh, aka Yahuwah, as his father David had done. This was after David passed away, King David. But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel. He even gave his sons as a burnt gift. This was very sinful and was done by the nations which the Lord had driven out from the people of Israel. Right? They give their sons as a burnt offering, as a burnt gift to the gods. Moloch and Baal. Moloch and Baal. Those are the diabolical, satanic gods. That you have to you give them your newborn baby, and maybe they'll give you what you want. Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 35. They built the high places of the false god Baal in the valley of Ben Hinnom to give their sons and daughters as burnt gifts to Moloch, another demon. To them is a god, in reality is a demon. I did not tell them to do this hated thing that Judah sinned. It did not even come into my mind. So basically God is saying, like, I never even thought about doing something like this. I never even thought about doing something like this. You guys made this up. You guys made this up. Abortions and sacrificing your children to demons. You made this up. And then people ask, oh, where is God in all of this? Why is all these horrible things happening? I mean, a lot of it is because of us, man. A lot of it is because we made up a lot of these sins. So, is abortion a sin? The answer is yes. It's a sin. God punished Israel for this very thing. God punished Israel for doing these things, these horrible things. and he handed them over to Babylon. You know, when Nebuchadnezzar came, he attacked Jerusalem, Judah, right? The cities where the Jews were. He attacked them, enslaved them, and that was their punishment for sacrificing children to God, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But mainly for worshiping, you know, demons. So that's gonna be it for this video. If you see anybody that is like pro-choice or like they're pro-abortion or something like that, show them this video. This is nothing new. A lot of people think, oh, this is new. This is like a new idea. We're moving society forward. No, we're not. We're going backwards. We're going back to the old days of human sacrifices and all that nonsense. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications, guys. It's your man Anderson, following Jesus Christ. Okay. And by the way, make sure to follow the commands of Jesus in Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. God bless.